Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Game channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today, and we're going to be taking a look at the first Endwalker normal raid, Asphodelos, the First Circle. For this fight, the boss does not have any frontal cones or AoE abilities that you'll need to worry about, but he does have AoEs on his left and right side, so I like to still keep him facing to the north and try and keep him facing that way as much as possible to not throw off the mechanic for the rest of the people that much. So Goler's Flail will do a chain on either his left or right side, and after spinning it for a bit, we'll do a 180-degree swipe on that side of him. So you'll want to just move to the opposite side that the flail is on to avoid this. Warden's Wrath will just do party-wide damage. That would just have to be healed through. Pitiless Flail will mark one party member with a large line AoE. You'll want to actually move close to the boss, as getting hit by this ability will do a large knockback, and if you are pushed into the outside of the arena, it will instantly kill you. He will follow up Pitiless Flail with True Holy, so you'll want to group up on the same party member that was knocked back to reduce the amount of damage from this, followed by another Goler's Flail, before casting Heavy Hand, the Tank Buster ability. You'll want to just pop a tank cooldown to help reduce some of the damage from this, but it doesn't hit too hard. Intemperance will mark the first phase change. Every party member will be marked with either a hot or cold spell. You'll want to move into the section of the room that has the opposite color as what is above your head or the debuff that you receive on you. So if you have a hot spell, you'll want to move into one of the sections of the room with a blue spell at the very bottom. And then if you have the cold spell, you'll want to move into the section of the room with the orange spell at the bottom. These will explode from the bottom up, so you'll want to make sure you're positioning accordingly, and making sure that you're not in the middle sections between these sections of the room, as this will instantly kill you if you are there when it explodes. I'll follow this up with a Warder's Wrath, and another Heavy Hand. He will then cast Shining Cells, transitioning into the next phase, where he will reduce the size of the platform, along with turning it into a minor dartboard that has fire and light-based sections on the platform. When he casts Aether Chain, if he has fire circles moving around him, then you'll want to move on to the light section of the dartboard. If he casts the Aether Chain and there are light orbs running around him, then you'll want to move on to the fire section. The rest of the time, I'll just be referring to this as the dartboard ability, as he doesn't show the name of it every time he casts it. He'll then transport back to the middle of the room and cast Aether Flail, where you'll want to position out of the side of the room for Aether Flail, along with on the correct color for the dartboard underneath you. He'll follow this up with a pitiless flail, so you'll want to get close to the boss to avoid being knocked back as the room is even smaller, and then a true holy where you'll want to group up to split the damage. After teleporting back to the middle of the room, he'll do another Aether Flail, followed with the Dartboard ability, so position yourself accordingly. Slam Shut will mark the end of this phase and will do a large percentage of damage to the entire team. He will then quickly rotate back to Intemperance, so you'll need to position yourself depending on your cold or hot spells in the correct section of the room. This time during Intemperance, he'll also cast Goler's Flail. You will have time to reposition after the last Intemperance explodes, so don't get too worried and try to rotate early, or as you may step into the middle section and be instantly killed by Intemperance. Follow this with 2 Warder's Wraths back to back and a Heavy Hand. They'll then cast Shining Cells, transitioning back into the Dartboard phase. This time, every time he casts the Dartboard ability, he will also cast Aether Flail with it, so make sure that you're repositioning accordingly. After doing it 2 times, he will follow it with a Pitiless Flail. You can use knockback reduction abilities to avoid the knockback from Pitiless Flail. He'll then teleport back to the center of the room, followed with another Aether Flail and Dartboard ability. And then finally a Slam Shut to transition out of the phase. Shortly after Shining Cells ends, he'll go back into another Intemperance, so you'll want to move yourself to the correct color. He'll do another Goler's Flail at the end of this one, so make sure that you're repositioning after the final explosion. Followed by 2 Warder's Wrath and a Heavy Hand. before transitioning back into the Shining Cells ability. But this should be it for Asphodelos, the first circle. I hope this helps everyone out. If it does, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.